Are you ready for a change? Are you ready for your life to turn around? Are you ready for things to happen to bring you great success, to see your dreams and visions come to pass? Then you are at the right place at the right time, listening to the Julie Tussey Show podcast. Welcome. And while you're here, please subscribe and leave us a good review. Also, let your friends and family know about the Julie Tussey Show. Get on the Julie Tussey train. We're going somewhere, baby.
Pop the glam pain. It's time for the Julie Tussey Show live guest current events scathing exposés. The original suburban bombshell, the big blonde baby, giving you the fastest, funniest, most informative 30 minutes of your life. And now, here's Julie Tussey.
Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me here on the Julie Tussey Show. I am your host, Julie Tussey. I'm so glad to be here with you. Right in the middle of the coronavirus and isolation for 1 month. That's right. I know you're in the same boat. I hope you're taking care of yourself, keeping your family safe. You know, we went to see my little Italian mama yesterday. And we will not let her come out of her house. She has to look out the glass window of the door. She has a big glass screen door. And so she stays on one side. We stay on the other. There's 6 feet between us. And we got to visit her. So we try to do that once a week at the most. I'd love to go do it every day. Just want to make sure she's safe. Want to make sure you're safe. So how are you doing? Oh, my gosh. This has been the craziest time in the entire world, okay? The craziest time in the entire world. We hit 200 episodes last time you heard the podcast, and oh, has it been a great time. So here we are with 201 podcasts, and you know what I'm going to talk to you about today? I'm going to talk to you about how to stay mentally and physically fit during isolation. All right, so, you know, we all know we can exercise, and we're going to talk about that and talk about some ideas. But mostly, I'm a little concerned about some of our mental safety and mental balance and mental health right now, because it is not easy to go from a full-time job, being with people all day long and loving people all day long and going to lunch and going shopping and having this normal life, to staying inside, sanitizing all the time, wash your hands, wash your hands, you know, wash your hands, singing happy birthday twice, or whatever whatever it is that you're doing. Can't find toilet paper, can't find baby wipes, can't find Lysol wipes, can't find Lysol spray, can't find thieves oil, can't find the things we need for sanitation, and yet we're sanitizing every day. I mean, it's just been crazy. If I didn't believe God, I don't know what I would do, because I will walk into a store. I try not to go but once every 2 weeks with my mask, with my gloves, with all of my sanitation planning in my brain, right? And I try to go, and I'll walk in, and I'll go, me and Stephanie, my daughter, will pray. We live right next to each other, so we go together, okay? So we go together to the store, and we share the car, and we share the joy. And we run from people. We try to stay 6 feet away, and it's just kind of hard. But we'll pray before we go, and we'll just say, Lord, you know, the baby needs wipes. We're really low. Can you please, just have a box show up or something? And sure enough, we'll walk in, and they'll either open a case while we just stepped into their aisle, or we'll see a box sitting there, one for her, one brand for her, one brand of whatever I'm looking for, and the only one in the whole store. So have faith and pray. He can do it. But I wanted to talk about the mental health part of that. So you got to make sure, you all, that you're getting in the sunshine as much as possible, that you're going outside as much as possible, that the number one thing that I think to help through this, besides prayer and believe in God, is that you laugh. that you laugh. Gary will turn on stand-up comedians for me. Gary and I will watch funny movies. If Gary's busy and working or whatever, because he's in construction, so he still has to go out in this. That's another whole thing we could talk about, like I make him strip at the door. He takes his shoes off in the garage. He strips in the laundry room and puts everything straight in the washer and turns it on and sanitizes the washer and then goes straight to the shower. My son is working and he has to do the same thing. So there's some good advice. If I go to the grocery store, I come in and do the same thing. Just trying to be extra careful not to bring the coronavirus into our homes. But it's best to laugh, okay? If you don't laugh, you might end up crying. And I want to talk to you a little, just 2 minutes maybe, about this. It's okay if you feel like you're going to cry. It's okay if you feel like you're having a bad day. It's okay to fight fear. It's okay. It's okay. If you want to cry, honey, go ahead and cry. I mean, I learned a long time ago that if I just look at the clock and I let myself cry for 5 or 10 minutes and then I force myself, that's it, I'm going to wash my face. And I get up and I wash my face and get a cup of coffee, I feel so much better. To me, women are like pressure cookers, and when you have to cry, it's that release valve. So if you have to cry, even men, some men may be this way too, just cry and let it out, but then let's try and get our heads on straight, right? Let's go forward. I know you're cooped up with the kids all day long, and God bless them and God love them because you love them so much, but 24/7 is very, very hard. So number one, I want you to laugh. I want you to find things that are funny and begin to laugh. Do you know, even if you look in the mirror and just start laughing at yourself, it'll make you laugh. It will. So get around someone else that is laughing, watch some comedy, listen to a comedy podcast, whatever you have to do, and make yourself laugh every day. Laughter does good like a medicine, my loves. Yes, it does. Number two, we're going to exercise. Now, we don't have to go to the gym. Actually, we can't go to the gym, right? But we don't have to go to the gym to get exercise. Do you know you can play with the kids? You can run around the yard. You can play games with them. You can put on music and you can dance like crazy. You can get on YouTube on your big TV or your phone, and you can find all kinds of videos that are free. You can join Beachbody. No, I'm not part of it. I'm just saying there's all kinds of things that are available for you if you just find what you love. Now, me, I have my Apple Watch, and so I try to go for a walk every day. Again, I said I'm blessed, and I have my daughter Stephanie and my daughter Jillian who lives with us, and so there's us three that we take care of the baby together, we take care of our homes together, we go for walks together. And if I look down and my steps aren't enough, I literally walk through my house. I just turn on some great music and I walk back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Now, another great way to get exercise is to clean, right? To clean. So you can do that. You can work out in the yard. There's so many things you can do to stay active. Your brain needs, is it dopamine that you get when you exercise? Your brain needs your serotonin level to be raised from your body moving and you laughing and doing healthy things. So that's point number 2, exercise. Dance, walk, and get online and do some things. All right, number 3, a great thing to keep mentally healthy and physically healthy is to get creative. How many of you out there are painters or knitters or crocheters or patchwork quilters or let's see, how many of you want to write a book? How many of you want to record an album? How many of you want to do a podcast? Now's the time. You know, I just released on Facebook and over on the Grace Girls and Company podcast something called Your Defining Moment. This is a time when we can define ourselves. How many times in history have you ever really had this much time to yourself? Well, instead of going cray-cray, Let's use it to define ourselves. Let's find the things that we want to do. All right, so take an hour and tuck the kids in for a nap or whatever you have to do, and find an hour for yourself and get in a bubble bath or get in your bed with your Bible and just begin to think about what it is that you would do with your life if you could. If money weren't a challenge, if time weren't a challenge, if raising the family wasn't so time consuming, what would you do? And get to the bottom of your heart about what you would like to do with your life. And during this time, take an hour, 2 hours, whatever, and set it aside and begin to work on it. Okay, if you want to start a small business, then get online and get all of the information that you need. A lot of the offices are still open and you can get all kinds of information. If you want to start a corporation, go ahead and start working on the incorporation process. If you want to write an album, go ahead and start writing 1 song, 2 songs, 3 songs, whatever it is that makes, whatever it is that your creative interest lets you to. If you paint. Do some amazing creative things at this time and choose to mark the spot that you defined yourself. That let this coronavirus not be just the serious, horrible, terrible time in human history, but let this also be the spot that you marked your life and said, you know what, life is short. We're not promised tomorrow. I have an opportunity here to find out what I'm created to do, who I'm created to be, and this is what I'm going to do, and make some changes. I fully expect, I don't know if you do, but I fully expect that we're going to come out of this experience different. Some of the things that were consuming our lives are going to be laid down and go by the wayside because we don't really need them, and we'll find that out. Some things are going to be like, you know what, I just turned 35, or I just turned 50, or I just turned 70. I want to change my life. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm making a complete change. So I expect to see some big changes and some small changes in most people's lives as a result of this. Let your change be your defining moment. We'll be right back.
I'm here to empower you to fix what's broken in your life.
Hi, it's Julie Tussey. I want to remind you to go to theJulieTusseyShow.com and join the mailing list. Also, see all the fabulous cooking you want to see on YouTube.com/C/TME-TV. Honey, you were not created to be ordinary, but you were created to be extraordinary. You were not created to be common, but you were created to be uncommon. You were not created to be average, but to be above average. I mean, you are remarkable. You are noteworthy. You are impressive, striking, outstanding, brilliant, excellent, superb, praiseworthy. Now, isn't that amazing? How many people tell you that? Only on the Julie Tussey Show.
And now, back to the Julie Tussey Show.
Call your friends and your family and check on them. All right? Not just to check and say, hey, are you okay? But call and love on them. Call, FaceTime them if you can. FaceTime them. We went to my mom's house, and she's from Michigan. I'm from Michigan. I've been down here in Kentucky for about 25 years, and my mom's been down here about 6 years. And so that means my brothers are still up north, and my niece and nephew are up north. Let's see, I got a few of those up there. But one niece in particular, Jenna, my mom is really, really close to. After my dad passed, Jenna moved into the house with my mom. And so they got really, really close. And I know my mom misses her so bad. So we FaceTimed Jenna and let mom see her on the phone screen through the glass. Of course, mom's 76, and she does not know how to get on Skype and all of these things. And I can't go in her house and help her. So we showed her Jenna, and they both cried. They were so glad to see each other. And for the first time, I'm like, duh, why did I not think of this before? All this time, for 6 years, I could have been doing this for her. So I'm going to begin to do it more. My son, Shay, and his wife, Whitney, with the 3 baby girls live in Michigan. So we FaceTimed them, and she got to see them through the glass. And it was just so awesome, you guys. And it will lift your spirits. It will lift your spirits. So FaceTime your friends and family. And if you can't FaceTime them, call them. Set aside an hour every day to call people. Just do it, or a half hour, or 15 minutes. But set it aside. You will feel better, they will feel better, and you won't feel so disconnected. I am concerned about the disconnection with our mental health. So try to stay connected as much as you can. If you're part of a big church family or a small church family, FaceTime and call your church family, okay? If you're part of a working group that's more like a family business or not a corporate setting so much, FaceTime and call those people that you work with and your friends and check on them, and you'll feel so much better. And last but not least, number 5, soak in the Bible or positive words, okay? Soak in that. When you're tempted to be, woe is me, it's never going to get better. And I'm telling you, I've been in isolation for a month. And you guys know I'm always honest with you about everything. I have broken down and cried once a week over the isolation, I haven't cried because I'm afraid, because I'm believing God, but the temptation to be afraid. I have cried over that I have to sanitize, that I have to, get down on my son when he comes in because he's younger, and at first he didn't realize the risk was as high as it was, and he didn't want to take off his clothes in the laundry room and put them in, and I'm the guy. I had to be the bad guy, but I determined that when those negative thoughts, after I did let myself cry, as I said in the first of the podcast, I felt better. Gary came home, and I said, honey, I'm not doing well today. And he's like, baby, can I take you somewhere? And I'm like, yes, just get me out of this house. Get me out of this house. And so he drove me to the Dairy Queen, and I never hardly ever eat ice cream, just not a big fan, but I do like a chocolate dip ice cream. He got me ice cream. He pulled in, you guys, under my most favorite tree. I had just shown him a couple of days ago what a Kwanzaa cherry tree looks like, and they're in full bloom here in Kentucky right now. And so he pulls our car under, and I have a sunroof that opens. You don't lift it up. It just goes all back into the other part of the roof, and it's wide open. You could crawl out it if you wanted to. He pulls under this Kwanzaa cherry tree that has to be so old because it is huge, and it is full of branches and just covered with flowers. And I look up. I could almost cry right now because of what it did for me mentally. I look up out that sunroof, and I was, it was just breathtaking, and I felt the pressure and the weight of the world come off of me. So you got to do things like that. So when I can't have those moments and I begin to feel like I'm fighting an invisible enemy, as they say, that I'm losing a battle, that I'm just giving it my all and I may not win, and I get afraid and all of these things, I begin to recall Scripture, for no plague comes nigh my dwelling. God is there in the midst of us. 1,000 may fall at my hand and 10,000 at my right hand, and it will not come near me or mine. And I begin that. Now, you may not believe like I believe, and that's okay. You can begin to think positive thoughts like it's all going to be okay. And one of the things I tell myself is, nothing's any different today than it was yesterday. Nothing's any different today than it was yesterday. And I'm so thankful to God that we've all stayed safe and healthy, and we're doing everything we can to do that, and we're praying for people who are not experiencing that. And hopefully you listening are not experiencing the coronavirus, and you're not sick, but if you are, we're praying for you. I want you to know that. And we're just going to keep on standing. We're going to stand and hope for the best, right? So I hope that this helped you out. I just wanted to pop in real quick this week, let you know I'm doing well. My family is doing well. I'm thankful to the Lord Jesus for that. I'm thankful for those of you that reach out and check on me. And I want you to know that if I could, I would call every single one of you individually who's listening. If you want to have that kind of relationship with me, you can go on the JulieTusseyShow.com and you can sign up on the mailing list. And you guys can email me anytime you want at JulieTussey@gmail. Okay? I just want you to know I care about you so much. I care about you so much. I love you and I want the best for you. Please interact with me on social media. Reach out to me through email. Let me know how you're doing. This is Julie Tussey telling you you only get one amazing, awesome, fabulous life. Live it to the fullest.
After a week of hearing hundreds of I can'ts, I'm here today to tell you you can. Find us on social media at facebook.com/The Julie Tussey Show and Instagram, The Julie Tussey Show, home of the original Suburban Bombshell.
I want to take a minute to say thank you so much to our supporters, underwriters, sponsors, those of you that give to our nonprofit corporation, The Voice Incorporated. The Julie Tussey Show podcast is an outreach of The Voice Incorporated, a 501c3 nonprofit corporation. I'd like to ask you to consider becoming a VIP Voice Impact Partner with me. Voice Impact Partners are monthly partners that help support the outreach of The Voice Incorporated. You can also give a one-time offering or gift anytime you want. Go to thejulietusseyshow.com and click Give. thejulietusseyshow.com and click Give. You can also give on Venmo at thevoiceinc. And remember, all gifts are tax deductible. Visit thejulietusseyshow.com. Lots of fabulous shopping, beautiful things that you might want to get as a gift or for yourself. You can also reach out to me and communicate with me there. thejulietusseyshow.com.
If life is my oyster, darling, pass the hot sauce.